Hello, my name is Gary Templeton. This video introduces learning maturity theory, which was described in a book chapter I wrote in Creating Knowledge-Based Organizations. The book chapter is entitled A Theory of Learning Maturity Derived from Technological Influences on the Theoretical Development of Individual and Organizational Learning. After watching this video, if you want to learn more, I encourage you to read this chapter. Learning is at the heart of organizational and individual success in today's dynamic world. But how has technology shaped our understanding of learning? Despite decades of research, the intersection of learning theory and technology remains underexplored until now. This chapter dives deep into the history of learning research, charting its development from foundational theories to the transformative influence of technology. The chapter examines key milestones in individual and organizational learning, the impact of technological change on the evolution of thought, and a groundbreaking concept, learning maturity, the ability to demonstrate intelligent behavior across diverse contexts. Learning maturity offers a framework to understand how skills and technologies evolve over time, reshaping organizations and their members. This theory not only bridges gaps in traditional learning models, but also equips leaders to anticipate future challenges and opportunities in an ever-changing technological landscape. The remainder of this video explores the profound interconnection between technology and learning, a journey that redefines how we think about knowledge, adaptation, and the future of learning organizations. Learning has been a central focus of human development, but its theoretical underpinnings have undergone significant transformation over time. We will explore the evolution of individual learning theory, organized into three major periods: the pre-learning period, the mechanistic individual learning period, and the organismic individual learning period. For thousands of years, education focused on teaching rather than learning. Drucker highlighted that master teachers today teach the same way master teachers taught 3,000 years ago. This was largely because the educational process revolved around a small number of scholars. The Industrial Revolution in the late 19th century shifted the focus from teacher-centric to learner-centric approaches. Organizations needed to train large, dispersed workforces, spurring interest in learning research. Early learning theories relied on introspection, where individuals examined their own consciousness to collect data. However, this method was flawed. Data was often inaccurate, and some mental states were inaccessible. By the early 20th century, introspection was replaced by behaviorist methodologies, marking the mechanistic period. Behaviorists, like John B. Watson, focused on observable behaviors, ignoring mental states. This new approach treated learners as reactive organisms, emphasizing measurable actions over internal thought processes. Behaviorism introduced the concept of reinforcement, the idea that learning is driven by repetition and external stimuli. Two major frameworks emerged during this period: classical and operant conditioning. Classical conditioning was pioneered by Thorndike and expanded by Pavlov. Pavlov's famous stimulus response experiment showed how a dog could associate the ringing of a bell with feeding time, forming new reflexive behaviors. While effective in explaining simple tasks, this approach struggled with more complex voluntary behaviors. Operant conditioning, developed by B.F. Skinner, expanded on Thorndike's law of effect. It emphasized the consequences of actions. Positive reinforcement encouraged repeated behaviors, while punishment discouraged undesirable actions. Unlike classical conditioning, operant conditioning allowed subjects to exert some control over their environment, advancing our understanding of learning as an interaction between behavior and context. The organismic period viewed learners as active participants in their environment, capable of self-determination and higher-order thinking. Two significant branches emerged: cognitive learning and social learning theories. Cognitive learning theories emphasized mental processes such as memory, perception, and decision-making. These theories highlighted the importance of internalized thought in interpreting environmental cues and shaping behavior. Unlike the stimulus response model, cognition-based approaches demonstrated that behavior depends heavily on context and information processing. Social learning theories introduced by Bandura demonstrated how individuals learn through observation and imitation. Key contributions include vicarious learning, where individuals learn by watching others, symbolism, which helps people anticipate future outcomes, and self-efficacy, the belief in one's ability to succeed in specific situations. Social learning theories bridged behaviorist and cognitive approaches, showing that behavior results from the continuous interaction of cognitive, behavioral, and environmental factors. The evolution of individual learning theory from teacher-focused beginnings to complex technology-driven approaches demonstrates the growing understanding of how humans adapt, grow, and thrive in ever-changing environments. Each period brought us closer to unlocking the potential of learning for individuals and society. To understand how organizations learn and adapt, we must first explore their journey through history. The evolution of organizational learning theory can be categorized into three significant periods: the pre-learning period, the mechanistic organizational learning period, and the organismic organizational learning period. Each era shaped how organizations operate and adapt to change. The concept of organizations dates back to ancient Jericho, around 8000 BC, where early societies convened to collaborate on agricultural innovations for survival. This era marked the beginning of hierarchical rule, where organizational structures were emergent and unplanned. Although intellectual cultivation was not a priority, the reliance on memory rather than written technology highlighted early forms of organizational learning. However, the pace of innovation and adoption of new technologies was slow, reflecting the natural and unstructured state of organizational adaptation. As industrialization took hold, organizations began to focus on survival through efficiency and tool implementation. This period is divided into two key eras: the tool implementation and learning curve eras. In 1776, Adam Smith's book, Wealth of Nations, laid the foundation for mechanistic organizational practices, emphasizing division of labor, mass production, and economies of scale. Frederick Taylor's book, Scientific Management, further advanced these ideas by introducing data-driven techniques to optimize efficiency. However, these rigid structures often resisted change, maintaining autocratic management styles. Efforts like fostering human relations aimed to bridge the gap between management and workers, but empowerment and learning were still not priorities. In the 1930s, learning curves emerged as a way to quantify organizational learning. Wright's 1936 studies on airplane production revealed that as workers repeated tasks, production costs decreased, attributing gains to worker knowledge. This era underscored the importance of learning in improving organizational performance, paving the way for more sophisticated approaches to managing learning processes. As the limitations of mechanistic approaches became evident, organizations shifted toward proactive adaptation and continuous learning. This period introduced two transformative eras, the redesign and learning organization eras. In the 1950s, the redesign era marked a significant shift. Lippitt, Watson, and Wesley's work emphasized planned change as a discipline, while management programs like Total Quality Management, TQM, and Business Process Reengineering, BPR, reshaped organizational learning. TQM emphasized bottom-up communication and empowering workers, while BPR took a top-down approach to overhauling misaligned structures. These strategies introduced incremental and radical change mechanisms, guiding organizations to evolve continuously. The term organizational learning was popularized by Cyert and March in the 1960s, responding to global competition and the need for adaptive worker behavior. This era established learning as a natural function of organizational life, with cyclical processes like single-loop and double-loop learning becoming integral to operations. Researchers like Huber identified key behaviors: knowledge acquisition, information distribution, interpretation, and organizational memory that underpin successful learning organizations. Ultimately, this period empowered individuals to contribute to organizational intelligence, or deuterial learning, the highest form of organizational adaptation. From ancient agricultural practices to the modern learning organization, the evolution of organizational learning theory highlights the continuous interplay between structure, knowledge, and adaptation. By understanding this history, we can better anticipate and navigate the future of organizational growth. Technology has always been a driving force in the evolution of learning research. From simple tasks to complex techniques, the influence of technological progress has shaped how both individuals and organizations learn, adapt, and grow. The foundation of early learning research focused on tasks, simple understandings involving labor or difficulty. Tasks, often repetitive and low in cognitive complexity, were the primary focus during the early mechanistic period. At the individual level, concepts like master teaching, introspection, and classical conditioning explored basic human performance in task completion. Similarly, early organizations, such as the community in Jericho, relied heavily on collectivism to achieve greater productivity through task accumulation. Tasks provided the groundwork for understanding how learning occurs, but lacked the complexity necessary to address higher-order interactions. As society evolved, tools became essential for enhancing human capabilities. Tools, defined as instruments or devices designed to aid in achieving objectives, marked the next step in learning research. During the later mechanistic period, operant conditioning theories acknowledged the proactive use of environmental structures to achieve goals. At the organizational level, the tool implementation era, inspired by Adam Smith's concepts, introduced hierarchical systems for managing tool-based production. The learning curve era further advanced this by embedding information technology into tool-based operations, enabling greater efficiency and innovation. From tools came the realization that knowledge drives creation and innovation. The organismic period embraced this, focusing on how knowledge fuels behaviors like planning, creativity, and adaptation. At the individual level, the cognition and social learning eras emphasized knowledge as central to internal processes and social interactions. Information technology revolutionized these theories by connecting people globally, facilitating collaboration, and enhancing the breadth of human interaction. Knowledge became a key driver for understanding how individuals and organizations process, share, and act on information. The pinnacle of technological evolution lies in techniques, particular styles or methods requiring expertise and an integration of tasks, tools, and knowledge. Techniques represent the most complex form of technology, demanding higher-order cognitive and organizational skills. Organizational models like Templeton and Snyder's technology control model underscore the importance of collective cognition, treating techniques as the ultimate tool for adaptability and success. To learn more about Templeton and Snyder's technology control model, click the link in the description of this video. By mastering techniques, organizations unlock the potential for continuous growth, learning, and innovation in an ever-changing technological landscape. I encourage you to explore how technology continues to shape the way we learn, innovate, and succeed, one task, one tool, and one technique at a time. Now we will dive deeply into the groundbreaking concept of learning maturity, a framework that redefines intelligence by integrating technology into the equation of effective learning and behavior. Let's explore what it means, how it's achieved, and its transformative impact. Learning maturity is the actor's capability for performing behaviors dependent upon interactions with technology. In other words, it is a way we can augment natural intelligence with information technology. Learning maturity explains how individuals and organizations achieve behaviors previously unattainable without technology. For example, a computer programmer editing code demonstrates a level of behavior dependent on tools like computers and software, actions that traditional learning theories could not fully explain. Here's the equation for effective intelligence. It combines natural intelligence, NI, with technological intelligence, TI, where TI is a function of learning maturity, LM. This shows how technology enhances natural intelligence, expanding behavioral outcomes and enabling intelligent responses to complex challenges. The journey to learning maturity involves integrating technological competencies into intellectual development. As actors experience technologically mediated trials, they grow in learning maturity, transitioning from simple tasks to mastering complex problem solving. This model highlights the essential role of technology in maximizing effective intelligence. To reach learning maturity, an actor must engage in deuterial learning, or learning how to learn. This process transforms individuals and organizations from mechanistic to organismic learners by adapting to increasingly complex technologies. Mechanistic learning focuses on reactionary behaviors, emphasizing simple stimulus-response relationships. However, this approach ignores critical variables like biology, social interactions, and cognition. The organismic period advances this by including mental processes and higher-order thinking, enabling learners to generate new knowledge and adapt to complex environments. Mechanistic organizational learning prioritized incremental changes and visible outcomes, often at the expense of long-term adaptability. The organismic period shifted the focus to intellectual capital, knowledge sharing, and continuous process improvement, enabling organizations to evolve with rapid technological advancements. In summary, learning maturity bridges the gap between natural intelligence and the transformative power of technology. It equips individuals and organizations to achieve more intelligent, adaptive behaviors in increasingly complex environments. This concept is essential for navigating the future of learning and innovation. Learning is more than just acquired knowledge. It's about enhancing capabilities and adapting to complex and ever-changing environments. At the heart of this process lies learning maturity, the ability to navigate complexity, ambiguity, and technological challenges. Let's explore the 4 key capabilities of learning maturity that enable organizations and individuals to thrive. The first capability of learning maturity is continuous change. Mature learners excel at incremental adaptation, constantly writing to and refining organizational memory. This process is rooted in the long tradition of learning research, from the pre-learning period to the mechanistic and organismic eras. Continuous change ensures that organizations and individuals can adapt and evolve in a structured and deliberate way. Next is discontinuous change. Unlike continuous change, this involves abrupt and transformative shifts. Mature learners anticipate, plan for, and design strategies to handle such changes effectively. The ability to navigate discontinuous change is a hallmark of learning maturity, as highlighted by key contributions in learning theory's history. As environments evolve, so must organizations. Mature learners demonstrate the ability to redefine the organizational memory structure, ensuring that priorities shift in response to external pressures. Technological advancements, often more complex and scarce, require greater learning maturity to address turbulence in markets and environments. This capability allows organizations to adapt their memory and structures to align with new realities. The final capability is structuration, the creation and maintenance of structures that support learning. Mature organizations design frameworks that align with existing worldviews and enable self-governance and adaptability. This capability draws on decades of research on how entities interact with technology, bridging low, or mechanistic, and high, or organismic, levels of learning maturity. Structuration ensures that future learning is both possible and purposeful, fostering continuous improvement. Together, these four capabilities, continuous change, discontinuous change, redefining organizational memory, and structuration, form the foundation of learning maturity. They empower individuals and organizations to not only survive but thrive in an era defined by complexity and technological advancement. Learning maturity isn't just a goal, it's a journey toward enduring success. Learning has always been at the core of human and organizational progress, but as our environments grow more complex and technology more advanced, the way we understand learning must evolve. This chapter delves into the concept of learning maturity and its critical implications for individuals, organizations, and the future of learning theory. The case learning history revealed two major periods in the tradition of learning research, the mechanistic and organismic. The evolution from one to the other was driven by the need to address gaps in earlier theories. A recurring theme was the profound influence of technology. As technology becomes increasingly complex, learning paradigms at both the individual and organizational levels have adapted to meet these challenges. The theory of learning maturity offers two key contributions. First, it explains how learning theories evolve to address increasing technological complexity. Second, it proposes that humans and organizations seek to learn complex technologies to capitalize on scarcity and uncertainty in their environments. This theory suggests that mechanistic and organismic learning exist in all adapting entities to varying degrees. Distinctions between the two are based on epistemological focus, subject characteristics, and information processing style. The study identified four key capabilities of mature learners: continuous change, incremental adaptations over time; discontinuous change, the ability to navigate and design for disruption; redefining collective memory, which is adapting theoretical frameworks to changing environments; and structuration, building structures and frameworks that enable future learning. Mechanistic theories, while foundational, were limited in several ways. They were overly strict in their cause-effect assumptions, ignoring environmental interactions, and placed too much emphasis on outcomes while neglecting intellectual capital and processes. These shortcomings paved the way for more adaptive and inclusive organismic models. This research opens new avenues for exploring learning maturity in diverse settings, from classrooms to high-tech labor markets. Future studies can use the taxonomy developed here to measure learning maturity in individuals and organizations. Understanding why some entities pursue complex knowledge while others do not can help address challenges in high-demand, knowledge-scarce fields like information systems. By redefining how we think about learning, the theory of learning maturity provides a framework for navigating complexity, fostering innovation, and preparing for an uncertain future. As technology and environments evolve, so too must our understanding of how we learn. If you want to learn more about learning maturity, read the articles cited on the screen. I hope you found this video to be useful. Thanks for watching.